has been dead longer than you have been alive, and he has accomplished way more before he died and after he died than you. You currently have one single out. One. Uno. You're still riding that wave of that one single. That one single has allowed you to do different interviews and go on a press run and even do a tour and be with people on concert from this one song. Yet this guy that you said is boring has been dead for longer than you've been alive and has accomplished way more. His estate is way bigger and way prominent than you. Everyone, it's Ayesha Go, and welcome back to Renewed or Revoked, our weekly chance to look back at what's been going on within the culture. And we're going to see who's out here being a hot mess, acting up right, making us look bad, and we will determine whether or not their card for the culture will be renewed, meaning we're going to give them a pass, we're going to turn the other cheek, we basically just going to pretend like whatever nonsense that they did, we're going to pretend like they didn't do it, like it just didn't happen, like, you know, like it just like disappeared, right? Or will their card be revoked? And when your card is revoked, that means you're done, like we're not messing with you no more, you got to get the out of here. We want no parts. You're not invited to the cookout. None of that. Now, before we get into this week's culprit, we're going to start off with a close call. Now, a close call is someone who almost had their card looked at, but they wasn't wilding out here as much as the person whose card is actually on the line. And this week's close call goes to James R. of Love and Hip Hop. Now, if you don't know who this is, then honestly, you're better off than me, because I wish that I didn't know who this guy was, because he really does nothing for my life at all. But James R., during the reunion of Love and Hip Hop, he was exchanging some words with some of his cast members, including Mariah Lynn and Jacquay and Snoop from The Wire. He had some pretty ignorant things to say to Snoop. Now, him and Snoop, they were going back and forth. She had some words for him based on how he's been acting throughout the season. And if you watch Love and Hip Hop, then you see he's pretty much a slime bag. You know, pretty slimy. Like, he does things and it's just like, no, he's not for me at all. And he told Snoop, he asked her if she wanted to be a guy or a girl, and was basically telling her, like, if you're going to be a woman, stay in a woman's place, just because she was coming at him. Now, the reason why this is a close call is because what he said was just extremely just stupid and ignorant, and it's like you're basing this off of her sexual orientation because she chooses to have women, and I'm pretty sure she probably gets more women than you, probably more attractive women than what you get, but it's like you're basing this off of her sexual orientation. It's like, that's all you got? Like, you can't say anything else to her or about her? That's the first thing you gotta go to? It's like very original, I guess. Like, you couldn't come up with nothing else. And then also too, it's like, all right, you know you're a man, you know she's a woman, what do you plan on doing? Like, you telling her to stay in a woman's place, like, what, you plan on putting hands on her? You plan on doing something to her? And we did see him during this season kind of like shove her during one of the scenes to like push her, and it's just like, yo, what type of lame guy are you? No wonder why you got the nickname Lames R from your cast members, because the things that you do are so bogus and corny. It's just like, yo, this guy can't be serious. And again, it was a close call just because I felt like that was just extremely ignorant, stupid. But to be quite honest with you, he's really not that important, and like, y'all really don't need to know about him. And I heard a little bit of his music, and it's not really good. Like, he's singing with auto-tune, so we don't even gotta talk about him no more. We could just move on, because it's just like, ugh, we don't need whatever he's selling. We don't need it. We can move on, right? Let's just move on. So we're gonna get to this week's culprit, who is Lil Xan. Now, I felt a little mixed about this because I thought Lil Xan was a cool kid. I watched an interview with him, and I was like, I like this kid. He seems different. And then he went and just did the BS. Now, during a sit-down with Revolt, Lil Xan said that TuPac was boring, his music was boring, and gave TuPac a 2 rating on a scale of 10. Now, just based on that is exactly why Lil Xan's card is being looked at for the culture this week, because it's just like, I don't even know where to start. All right, so number 1, Lil Xan saying that TuPac is boring and giving him a rating of a 2 on a scale of 10 is exactly why older people and just people that have been around for some time do not respect this younger generation, specifically the younger generation that is trying to come in and make a name for themselves in hip-hop. You say things like this that are extremely disrespectful, dismissive of the people that came before you. Y'all don't fully know y'all history, and then you come in like you're running shit, being extra cocky, braggadocious, arrogant, when you have not even proved yourself at all, because you have no accolades. Yes, you guys have followers. Yes, you might get some views on YouTube. But does that equate to actual accomplishments? Like, do you have actual money? Are you bringing in money? Are you taking care of your family? Have you set yourself up to have generational wealth? Like, are you going to have money beyond the next 1 to 2 years while you're popular and people care about you? And then after that, once you fade away because someone else is new and people don't respect you anymore, like, are you going to have money again? What are you going to do then? Like, it's just so many reasons why, again, people within the culture that have been here for a while do not respect you guys. And then when someone says something like this, it makes all of you look bad. Now, this isn't the first time we've heard someone up and coming say something about one of our legends. Not gonna name no names, but y'all get what I'm saying. Y'all know what I'm talking about, right? And it's just like, again, so Lil Xan, TuPac has been dead what, 22 years now? About to be 22 years. And that's about older than how old you are. So TuPac has been dead longer than you have been alive, and he has accomplished way more before he died and after he died than you. You currently have one single out. One. Uno. You're still riding that wave of that one single. That one single has allowed you to do different interviews and go on a press run and even do a tour and be with people on concert from this one song. Yet this guy that you said is boring has been dead for longer than you've been alive and has accomplished way more. His estate is way bigger and way prominent than you. We just had a TuPac movie. They're continuing to do documentaries about what happened between TuPac and Biggie because they were so polarizing and iconic and legendary and important. Is there going to be a Lil Xan documentary about how you got your name and how you decided where you was going to get the location of your face tattoos? I don't think so at all. And you call this music boring? Now this is something that I want to tell the younger people coming up, and just a little bit of advice that I want to have for you guys, just to be able to navigate and maneuver and move through the game a little better. So one, make sure you do your research, because a lot of y'all are not doing your research. You do not know your history. You do not know where you probably know where you came from in regards to your family, but you do not know where your artistry came from. A lot of you are doing things and you think that you're being innovative and new. No, there were people that came before you that did things as similar as people that came before you that has allowed you to get into these different lanes and different pockets and being able to create your own sound. So you're not innovative, you're not unique, you are not original. You are simply living and piggybacking off of someone else's legwork and what someone else did coming before you that's one of your elders, right? So make sure you do your research. In other industries and other jobs that you have, you got to do your research. If you're a lawyer, you need to know about different laws that was passed and what years they were passed. If you were a doctor, you need to know about different procedures and who was the innovator there and who created it and all this other stuff. It is no different from when you want to be in hip hop. Do your research, know who came before you, just just be aware and knowledgeable. Two, if the music that came before you you do not like, it is okay. Everyone's not gonna like anything, everything. But when you're doing the interview and when you're talking about this stuff, just simply saying, oh, I don't know, or I'm not sure, or saying like, I'm not too familiar, is an easier way of getting out of that situation and trying to do things for clout or quote unquote keeping it real. And you want to be the one to say Tupac was boring, and you want to be the one to say Biggie was overrated to get it trending and have people talking about you. That's not the way that you want to become popular, especially again when you're in hip hop and when you're in this industry that pays you and allows you to do different things for your family. Like, don't shit where you eat, all right? And don't bite the hand that feeds you. So be very cautious of what you say, and know too that during an interview, it's an interview. No matter how cool they are, no matter how comfortable they make you feel, it's still an interview, and they're there to do their job, which is to create a story. Now, the story could either be talking about you in a positive light or negative light, but either way, they're gonna get their views, they're gonna get their clicks. They're not doing it for your benefit of the doubt. And three, just just stop with being disrespectful. Just stop. Especially if y'all want people to respect y'all. Or remember, one day y'all gonna be them old heads, and it's gonna be some young kids that come up and they disrespect you and shit on you and make it seem like whatever you did was not important or valid at all. So it's like, just know one day the table's gonna turn and you gonna be that old person that kids are disrespecting, and you're gonna feel some type of way. So just right now, while you're young, and again, I know it's like a lot of hype around some of you guys, don't let that go to your head. Still just be respectful of where you are, where you come from, and who paved the way from you. And it sucks because I saw an interview with Lil Xan on Hot 97 for Ebro in the morning, and he was talking about how him and his dad would listen to Rosenberg when he was younger, and he was saying that he was changing his name from Lil Xan to Diego because he wanted to change his image and he's not doing Xanax anymore, and just all these different things that made me look at him like, wow, like maybe we judged him wrong. Yeah, a lot of these kids, again, the face tattoos, different color hair, the way that their music is, like people are quick to judge and assume that they're a certain way. But then once he started talking, I was like, wow, this guy is really cool. Like I'm gonna give him a chance. I'm not just gonna judge him based off of how he looks or because his name is Lil Xan. And then you go and do this, and it's just like you just make your whole entire the little niche that you're coming up in. When someone says like something like that, it makes all of y'all look bad because it makes it look like that person is an ambassador and basically the just the mold and model of what y'all represent. So it's like your peers too need to start coming for you and checking you because you're making all of them look bad. Like you really are. Like there's no other way to explain it. Like you just make everyone that is within your whole little peer group, people that are coming up around you, that sound, people that got the little this, young that, mini this, whatever y'all decide to give y'all something, you just make them all look bad. So again, like this is another, I know like I kind of do this a lot, like y'all starting to get to know me, but this is another issue and topic where I feel like I could just talk on and on and on about this because it just baffles me how much these kids continue to do this and then wonder why the older people do not respect them at all and what they did, and they shit on and they talk crazy about older people, but it's like this person has been popular and relevant way longer than you have been alive. This person has accomplished things that you will never be able to accomplish. This person is going to continue to be legendary and continue to be around while you just simply fizzle out because there's a new kid that's willing to do something crazier to get attention. Like, so Lil Xan, because of these comments, and I know Waka Flocka did say that he was banned from hip hop and T.I. co-signed, but I'm jumping on that too. Lil Xan, your card has got to be revoked for the culture because, again, you cannot be disrespectful. You cannot sit here and try to shit on people and be cocky and be overly aggressive, especially when you ain't got nothing to back it up with. Like Kanye is aggressive and has a big ego, and that's because he can back it up with his talent and his musical abilities and all his other skills. Some of y'all coming in here feeling yourselves too much, and y'all can't prove it past Instagram followers. And it's like you cannot go to the bank and cash in Instagram followers to get money. So Lil Xan, your card is being revoked for the culture because it's just extremely disrespectful, and if you want to be taken seriously, then you got to take this culture serious. So in the comments below, let me know what you think about this week's Renewed or Revoked. Lil Xan for saying that TuPac's music was boring and giving him a 2 on a scale of 10, despite the fact that TuPac has been relevant and more popular than he has ever even existed and lived right now, and TuPac will continue to be important, influential, and iconic, and he won't. Do you think I am being too harsh with saying that his card should be revoked and you think he's just young and expressing himself and doesn't really mean it? Or do you agree with me saying that his card should be revoked and that these kids need to have more respect, right? More respect with a K, as Birdman would say. Yeah, in the comments below, let me know what you think. And also, after that interview, Lil Xan, he tweeted out that he wasn't doing interviews anymore and kind of tried to play it like he was a victim and like they clickbaited him and they tricked him. No, these news publications and these media outlets are not your friends. They are trying to get stories, whether you look good or bad. Just plain and simple, just deal with it. Again, in the comments below, let me know what you think about this week's Renewed or Revoked. And until next week, with all new cards to be looking at, I am your host, Ayesha Go, and I'll talk to you then. Bye. Yeah, man, like, these kids is bugging, like, bugging straight up. And the crazy thing is, too, like, if they actually listen to some of the stuff in the past, they will find something that they really like and that they really connect with. And that just goes to show you that a lot of these people that's in the culture, they not for the culture. They doing it because they got eyeballs on them. They see that things are working, and that's it. They found a wave, and they riding it. They not really here for the longevity of the culture. They don't care about the culture. They just here because, oh, I did this, and people like it. Okay, I'm just going to continue to do it. So we got to start holding people more accountable, right? There is a cause and effect. We got to start holding people accountable of the nonsense.